Hi lads, in this video I'm going to go through some of the activities from page 53 and 54 of your Graphic Solutions booklet. So for page 53 I want you to do activity 6.19 and 6.21, so these two here. So start with 6.19. It tells us shown as a pictorial view of a solid. The front elevation looking in the direction of arrow A and a partial plan looking in the direction of arrow C are given. Complete the plan and project an end view looking in the direction from arrow B. So I'm going to use colours to actually show how to do this. So first thing, our elevation, remember what we see looking in the direction of arrow A, so what we see looking at the front of it. And when we look in, we can see this red outline here. So we look in there, that's what we can see. And you can see the elevation is already complete. You can see that we have this outline drawn there as well. With our plan, we're told it's partially completed. So we only have the actual outline of it. So when we look at our plan, I'm going to colour it in green. When we look down on top, we can see those three rectangles there. And that's basically that line there, that line there, and that line there. So what I need to do is, to actually get those lines in plan, I take them straight down. So I go to that point there, I take that down, lightly, remember we use light lines for construction, and we take that line down as well. Now we can see our three rectangles there, and then we draw on heavy what we can actually see. So that's that one there. This one is going to be the center one there, and then this last one out here is this one here. So that's our plan complete. Last thing, our end view. What do we see when we look in the direction of arrow B? We're going to be able to see that yellow rectangle there, that one there, and that one there. So we learned in the last video that to get our end view, we need to take our points from our plan up to it. And there was two different methods we learned. One of them, which is shown in the videos online, is to take a 45-degree line out here and then take your line across and up. Or what I just simply do is get my 45-degree set square like this, take this point up here and take this over here, and that's that taken for our width. So what we're saying is this width here is the exact same as that there, because both these lines are going parallel, they're keeping the same distance. What we do then is we take them straight up. We know from our elevation that our heights never change, so this height will always stay the same. And what I have now is I have a box that my end view looking in this way will fit into, kind of like how they drew the box for us below there and we to fill in the information. So what we can see is the outline of this box is going to be completely heavy. And all I need to do now is draw on our three steps. So our three rectangles, we look in here, here and here. Where do we get them measurements from? Is our elevation. There's the height of the first one, there's the height of the second, and we already have the height of the third. So we go to this line here and we take that across. Go to the next one, take that across. You notice I'm using light lines all the time, and then I can draw on heavy. That line and that line, and now I have my end view. My end view looking in there, you can see my three rectangles on top of each other, just like this. If I look at my plan, I can see my three rectangles there. If I look at my elevation, which was already drawn, I had this outline that was in red there. And what you can do then if you want is, if you have colours there, you can colour in exactly what you have then as a result there as well. So that yellow section there, that green section there and this red section here. Just like that. So for the next activity, so activity 6.21, I'll just move the camera down so you can see it fully. So it tells us, shown as a pictorial view of a solid, the front elevation looking in the direction of arrow A is given. Draw the plan and project an end view looking in the direction of arrow B. So this time they've only given us the elevation. They've been given nothing else. And once again I'll just use colour. So arrow A is looking in, I can only see what's in red here. I can't see this, or this. I can only see, when I look in that way, that red outline. And I can apply that to this side as well. For the plan, that's the next thing I'm going to draw. What I see when I look down on top of it. So I'm going to do that in green again. I'll be able to see this section at the back, that rectangle there, and that rectangle there. So just like with our last question, we seen that we took all of our widths down there into our plan. So I'll take all of them there as well down. So I take this one, this one, this one, and find the last one there. Now it's always important to remember to put a gap in between our two views. So generally they tell us in the on the videos to do 10mm, just like they have there. So I'm going to take 10mm and mark it there. And I have this line going across. We can see from the question the width of the plan is 45mm. So I'm going to take that 45 and mark it there. That's going to be my width. So when I look down on top of it, I can see 1, 2, 3 rectangles. I can't see the rest of it going back there, it's blocked. But we know there's a rectangle going all the way back there to the end. And we look down on top of this, we can see 1, 2, 3 rectangles there, the exact same again. So all we do now is go over heavy, what we can actually see. So this line here is going to be that back one that goes all the way. This line here, when we look down top, we can only see a straight line. It's basically this one going over, and then come up, go over, down, and go over again. When we look on top, we obviously can't see these straight lines going up. We'll only see them as points, which are going to be there and there. So that's going to be a straight line going over there, and the exact same at the back. And this line here at the front is going to be this line here. And then we have two lines in between. We have this one, and we have this one. And that's shown here and there. Once again, I can show that in green as well. And the last part, shown in yellow, is going to be our end view. What do we see when we look in this way here? We're going to be able to see this and this. That's all we can see for now. So same idea again. We take our line at 45 degrees, there and there. That'll give us our width. And then we can take them straight up. What we'll do is we'll draw a box once again, see what it'll fit inside. We take our height, so our highest point across, and then that outline is going to be in completely heavy because we have the line going up there, and then go across, and it'll go back up all the way to the top. That top line goes all the way across, so we can take that all the way across and then back down again. So this yellow section here, that's this yellow bit here. So there's our first height line. So we take that across. And it'll be heavy there, and you can see I just drew it lightly across there then. But then we also have this bit that's sticking up further. If we look in here, we can't see that edge. which is going to be this one here. That line going across there is at that point. So this here is this one. When we look in this way, that corner there appears as a point. There's going to be a line coming across here. We can't actually see that. When we look in this way, it is still there, we just can't see it. So what to do is we'd use a dashed line like we would have learned on one of the previous pages where we learned about different types of lines. So what we do is we take that across lightly and then we dash it then to show hidden detail. So even though we can't see it, that line is still there, we just can't see it. So this surface here is that surface there, same as that part. We can't actually see it when we look in this way, it's been blocked by this edge here, but we still draw it in anyway. And then we can colour in that in yellow then. And there are two activities I want you to do on that page. So the one there above, 6.19, and then 6.21. I'm just going to pause the video there just for 1 second, turn around the page to the activities I want you to do on the other side. So on page 54, we're going to look at activity 6.23, 6.24 and then just 6.26. So for 6.23 it tells us, shown is a pictorial view of a solid. The front elevation looking in the direction of RA is given. Draw the plan and project an end view looking in the direction from B. So once again I'm going to use my colours to show what I can see. So the elevation is given looking in this direction here. And what you can see looking in that way is that backwards L there, and then this little section inside here when we look in that way. That's shown in the question here. You can see that backwards L there, and you can see this little section here too. So that's what we've been given so far. So in plan, we have to take all of our points down again, just like we would have done with previous questions. So I'm going to take those down first, and remember I take them down lightly. And we put a 10mm gap in between, just like the previous questions. And take that line across. So now to figure out what's the actual width going down then. So when we look down top of it, we can see this little section here, this section here, and we can also see this section here. But I'm only going to colour in half of it for now because there's going to be a reason why I'm only going to colour in half of it. So that's what we can see. We can see all that section, but I'm just going to colour in half of it for now. We look down top of it. We can see our widths there are 20 and 20. So I'm going to mark off 20 there and 20 there, and take those across slightly. So I look down top of it. I'm going to see a line going heavy all the way across there. It's then going to go in once it hits this point here. And that goes back up to a 20mm line, so basically going back up to there. And then it sticks out to where that slope comes down. So that's where the slope is coming down, so it sticks out to there. So if I follow that down, there it is there. And then I'll just close it off by drawing that line there. And that line there. So that green section there is that green section there. You can then see we have this rectangle that goes all the way out to the end. So it starts here, goes all the way out, starts there and goes all the way out. And then I have this little section here. So that section there is this one here. And the last rectangle I have is going to be this one at the back that I coloured in half in green. And that just closes off the rest of it then there. And I'll just colour that in green there as well for half of it. There's a reason why now, you'll see. So there's my plan drawn. My end view is looking in this way. So with my end view, I can see this section here and this section here. And I can also, when I look in, because it's sloped up, I can also see this section here. So what we're learning is that in some cases we can see two sides, or we can see one side in two different views. For the red, all we could see is these two sections. They never appeared. So them two sides never appeared anywhere else. When we look down top at them, we notice though that if we look down top, we can see that edge there. When we're looking at this side here, we can also see this edge here as well. So that's why I have it in half green and half yellow, because we can see this part here because it's sloped in two different views. So I'm going to put that in yellow as well there, just to show that I can see it in two different views. To find our points, to draw it, once again, we take our widths there, and we take them up. Remember doing all this lightly. And we take all of our heights across. So it's this one here, and this one here. And when we look in our plan as well, we also have this width between here and here. So what you need to do is, you need to take all of your widths across to actually hit the end line there. So if you see the line I've drawn is slightly out to there, we take that out as well. We don't move our set square over and take it from here, for example. That won't go into the view above up here. So anytime you ever have extra widths that are marked off, for example the one we just had there, we always take them out to the end and then up to 45 degrees. And now I can take that straight up. So what do I see? At the bottom I'm going to see that rectangle there, and it's the full width there, and it goes up to this line here, which is the height here. So I take that across. So that'll give me that width there. Now I have that yellow rectangle. To the right, I have this rectangle here. The baseline is the same line as that, so that's that part there. Goes all the way to the top, over and down. So that'll give me that section there. Let's see that part there. And then the last one is the one that we can see on two sides, the slope. It goes across to there, so from there to there, goes all the way to the top and closes off there. What I'll do is, once again, I'll colour half of that in yellow and the other half in green to show that I can see that side in two different views. So you have a slope surface, you can always see it in two different views. And that completes that activity there. The next one, shown as a pictorial view of a solid. Sorry, no, 6.24 was the next one I wanted to do. So shown as a pictorial view of a solid. The planned solid is given. Draw the elevation of the solid and project an end view looking in the direction of arrow A. So we must draw an end view looking in that way. So what we could say is, this arrow here, we can call that B. That's going to be, if that's our end view, this is going to be our elevation. And if we look down on top of it, we can call that C. It's going to be our plan view. So with our elevation, so I'm always sticking with red for my elevation so far. So the elevation isn't drawn yet. The elevation is what I see looking in this side. And I can see all that section there. That's what I can see. When I look in to my end view, which is A, I can see this, and this, and once again, I have this idea again. Sorry, green is for my plan. So let's go over that in yellow there. So try and keep to the same colours. So yellow there and there. And I can only see part of it. Remember, it's a sloped surface, so I'm going to see part of that there when I look in this way. And also I'm going to see it when I look down on top as well. So in green, what do I see looking down top? I see them surfaces there. So at the moment my plan is actually drawn in for me. I can see that rectangle there is drawn in there for me. And colour that in green. I have this rectangle on its side there, and then I have my slope surface at the front, this one here, and that can be coloured in green and yellow there. And the elevation, remember the elevation always goes above the plan. So there's my plan, so I take everything up. So this time I'm working backwards. The last few questions we were given our elevation and we drew our plan. This time we're given our plan and we draw our elevation. So all of our widths are taken up. They already have the gap in between the two views for us because there's our XY line. And we need to apply our heights. So the first height up is 25. So I can mark that off there. And the next one after that is going to be a further 20. So I can take those across lightly. So when I look in, what do I actually see first? I'm going to start with this corner here. I can see it goes straight up to the 25mm height. It's then sloping all the way till it hits the first point in that rectangle. So sloping up, and there's the first corner of that rectangle. If I follow that up, there it is there. I can connect those two together. That goes across and then down. So across there and down there. And this is our elevation. That's what we see in red. Our last view is our end view. So instead of our 45 degree going this way, we have to start from this end. So remember and take up our extreme edges first. This one and this one. And we draw a box once again, see what it fits inside. And we take our full height up here across. And then we can start marking off our other heights then. So this height is given as well, we can take that across. And we can see in our plan, we have this width here, so it's not just from here to here, there's also this part in between. So we have to make sure we take this across first. And then take that up at 45 degrees. And then straight up. So once again, now in yellow what we can actually see. When we look in this way, we can see that rectangle on the bottom. And it goes up to 25, which is this height here. So there's our rectangle we're going to draw first. To the right above that, we're going to have a little rectangle there. So you can see this edge is going to go up. And it only goes across for now to there. And back down. So we've drawn so far. This is a section here, and this is a section here. And the last part we can see is this line goes up there, so it's going to go up, and it goes across to meet that corner there. So now we can take that across and up. And there we have our slope surface. We can see part of it in one view. As I said before, we can see part of it in the other view as well. So I'm going to do that little yellow and green there too, to show that there's a slope surface there, which is this line here, and we can see it there again. So the last one then, activity 6.26. Shown is a pictorial view of a castle gateway. The front elevation looking in the direction of arrow A is given. Draw the plan and project an end view looking in the direction of arrow B. So once again, our elevation, we're going to colour in red. So what we can see when we look at the front, we're going to see this and this. Even though these are behind it, they're still part of the elevation. If we look in this way, even though being blocked, they're still there. When we look in at our end view, we draw that in yellow. End view looking in this way, we're going to see this section here. We'll see this bit, in this bit, and there's that opening there as well that we can see. So remember, we're going to have some form of hidden detail here. There's a part going through it. We can't see this line going through there, but it is there still, so we'll have to draw it in as hidden detail. The last one in green, looking down top, you can see these 4 squares here, and we see this sort of plus sign going all the way around it then as well. So our elevation is complete. You can see all this in red here. And you can see there, there's hidden detail going from there to there. The reason why that is, even though it just goes straight up, over and down, there's going to be this back line here that we're going to be able to see. And even though we can't see it because it's been blocked, we put in hidden detail there for that. So to draw our plan, take everything down again. Take all of our widths. We do a 10mm gap in between. And we get our widths then. So we have 15, 20 and 15, so we mark them off. 15, 20 and 15. And we take them all across there. So when we look down, the first thing I'm going to draw is the 4 squares in the corner. They're the easiest things to do. So we can see that part there. We can see this one here. Then the one at the front. It's going to pair there. Let's move this up so you can see it. And you can see there. And there. Now we can see the outline going all the way around. So basically the line between there, 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 there. And then we have our hidden detail. So we look down top of it. There's these 2 lines running through it as well for the gateway in. So even though we can't see it when we're looking down, we still put it in. So there's our entrance there. So we draw on our hidden detail. And we can imagine it's going to go the whole way through. So that gateway is going to go the whole way through then. So that opening there, we look down top of it. There's the 2 lines there. And we colour that in green as well. So we have our 4 squares in the corner. And then we have this section here. And the last part then, the end view. So 45 degrees. Take our 2 extreme edges there and there. Take them up. Take our proper height across there, the full height. And that box is going to fit in our end view. So the other heights we have this one here, and this one here, and then our widths, we're going to have this one, and this one. So you need to take them up as well. So they both go up to 45 degrees, and we take them straight up. So what do we see when we look in this way? First of all, we can see that outline there, and that looks like this. There's our 2 lines going down on the outside. They go across to the square, down, over, and then up at the next square. So they go across to there, because that's the width of the first square. If we look there, that width there is the same as that. It goes down to this height here, which is this line there. Then goes across to the next one. And it goes over and up. And then we have this line here and here at the back. We can't see it because it's been blocked. So what we do is we draw in hidden detail again, just like this view here. And the last thing we need to put in is the entrance. If we look in there, we can't see the height of that line there, but we know there's that opening. So there's the height of it there, and it runs the whole way from the front to the back, so it's going to go all the way from the front to the back there as well. And that completes our end view. And hopefully that video helps anybody who might be stuck on any of those questions. So if you want, you could do either of the questions that are left on both sides of the page, and I'll correct them as well if you want to have more practice, but they're the ones I just want you to do for the double class on Thursday. So hopefully that video helps anybody who's stuck.